Well, Richard Strauss says, I leave my composition, I'm in trouble with it, I don't know what to do, and I go to sleep, and because it's important to me, I get up in the morning, and it's all worked out. All the problems are worked out. Arau says to me, the great pianist, I just can't make this passage work. Gets up after a dream, the dream says, this is the fingering you use. Trust your real dreams, not these so-called nightmares that you don't even know how to analyze. Each of those nightmares are telling you a great deal about the horror you are experiencing in the real life. Adler, the psychologist, says dreams just tell you where you are. It's desperately trying to put something in shape. But the artist and the person of serenity and the one that knows that dreams and rest is your key to creativity, they're never workaholics, artists. Ravel would take 5 years off, or it's not happening. Well, some people get greatly anxious, like Hugo Wolf, and where did he end up? He ended up mad. You have to let the unconscious simmer and ponder in its own way the creativity. All my drawings are, in the line drawings, are spectacular examples of my dream life. There's a daisy, a daffodil. It's a theme that I use all the time. Why that strange, in many ways I use it, why that flower? Because that flower was my first flower when I was 5 years old. What is that flower? I would say to my mom, that's a daffodil. A daffodil, I love to watch it. I wait for its blooming again. The daffodil is some symbolic thing of youth and naivete. It comes in the drawing. I don't think ever when I draw, and it has to move. Thought stops action. I can't say in a line drawing, oh, now where do I go? It's a piece of my dream life, and sometimes extremely funny. So everything, the Beethoven comes, as I said, it may have been even from a dream. I could have been hearing the music in my, a musician can often hear music in their dreams complete. One day I hear myself playing the Mussorgsky pictures at an exhibition. Wow, I get up in the morning, I don't even know the work. And inside the dream, it seemed and appeared that I played each one of them. And I'm seeing my hands go, but I don't know that piece. I never even, took that. I have music, of course, I've followed the score, but I don't know that piece in any way that I could, It's probably not at all the right thing, but the point is my dream world wanted, for some reason, it may have well been I was discussing in my book, The Essential Canon, at that time, Mussorgsky. Watch those dreams, trust those dreams. They are telling you something fabulous. And of course, if you are unblocked, for everyone is talented if they're unblocked. Well, we're repressed every day. We're surveyed. We're doing our taxes. We're going to, get a facelift or something. We're doing endless things, endless, nonsensically mostly, things that all often cost a great deal of money. And so we become blocked. There's no time to think. You're thinking, oh, I've got to get a new wardrobe and it has to look good. So all day long you're just doing things that are, nothing. Some friend of mine says, we're going to somewhere to an art exhibit, and a person is in the car, and the other guy says, well, aren't you practicing Chopin etudes? Why are you coming with us? What he's trying to say is, you've got to go home and do your work. But of course he said, but I'm not a pianist. That's the funny part of it. To be unblocked means that there is an endless stream of creativity happening. The creativity does not have to fall in line with an art, but there's a creative way of handling people, of petting an animal, of, look at the tragedy. I love animals, and I have 2 cats and a chihuahua. And they don't cause me any trouble at all. But the point is that most people have animals because there's nothing for them to touch. We have to touch. So they're so blocked, they're so repressed, their sexual life so limited, they're look at the internet. The biggest thing on the internet is an endless flow, hour after hour, of men in every country, in every city, looking at pornography. But pornography of such bad quality. It was not like, some sort of tongue-in-cheek pornography with very beautiful women in the 70s. There were a few really good films. Now it is just a sexual abuse of women, that they're used like machines. How could anyone think that this could be erotic? When you're unblocked, you know that your dream is telling you something. You have to write that down because it'll evaporate. But my God, you can work on a dream for a week. It gets more and more involved. And that dream says that you are you. Your dream is your real identity. That flowing id is a great creator. It'll give you the right word, but you have to trust it. So that's what I mean by we're so blocked that most of our dreams are just so desperate, because that's what we are, desperate. What was your dream? I said. The answer is usually, well, it was this, it was that. I was so tired, I was exhausted. It was a nightmare. Yes, it is a nightmare. Dreams are not following your bliss. Dreams are creative entities that, we're even blocked in the dreams. But please, one must remember that a very, very balanced and sane and perfectly proportioned psyche doesn't dream at all. But you're supposed to dream, the psychologists or the doctors say. You have to dream. Yes, we have to dream, but the real saint, the one that is so sane and balanced, doesn't dream. What do? For 25 minutes, if they need it, or 3 hours, or whatever they need, they have the most delicious sleep in the world. Because dreaming interferes with real sleep. And go buy that piano if, don't whine and say, I'm too old. If you need to, because everything is so instant, well, I would say take 1 year to learn 1 page of a 2-part invention. Take right hand, take a year for the second one, and take a 3rd year to put it together. What? 3 years to do 1 minute of music? Yes, that's right. That's what I ask. That's what I demand of you then. Because I demand us to survive. I want us to survive. Let's take a look at the reality of the world. We are uncreative today, unconsciously, where we do live. That's where we really live. Including our unknown, and that wonderfully unknown language, which is so vital, called the dream. Dreams are not usually the way we see dreams. Oh, how blessed. Follow your bliss, the man says, Campbell. There's no bliss in your dreams. They are almost always the working out of horrible things. You're very tired after dreaming all night long. A person that is so totally at peace, he doesn't have to be, that's not an artist. There's something higher than an artist. A saint, I don't mean a religious saint, I mean someone that has no ambition, yet knows how to get along and adapt himself to everything, understands all the spiritual meanings, can listen quietly to the greatest artists of all time, Bach and Beethoven, can walk in nature. Is there any left? Or is it only acid rain? Is it only cement? And most of all, to partake in what the artist Jean Arp said, silence is going into the realm of legend. There's no silence. Let's try every day to invent a new machine that will destroy you and make you more anxious. That is, it seems, what is happening. And those at first, because we're noise addicted, we can't do without it, just like we can't do without the computer or the iPhone or these other, things that, if used properly in moderation, can be as helpful as any household appliance, or all of those things that, as they say, make life easier or happier. Please, I don't want to be happy. I'd like to be Franz Schubert, He died at 31. He said, oh, poor Franz Schubert, he died at 31. What? The man lived in an ecstasy that had no psychological time. Every day he got up and wrote a new immortal song. Well, I'd rather be Franz Schubert than David Dubal. Horwood says to me, look, here I am, I'm playing his B-flat piano sonata, I'm 85, and he dies at 31. It's not fair. I said, you sure are right, it's not fair.